Today's hearing examines the proposed merger between U.S. Airways and American Airlines and the overall impact on consolidation in the American airline industry. If the Department of Justice approves the proposed merger between American Airlines and U.S. Airways, the new American Airlines, it will not only be the nation's largest air carrier, but the world's largest air carrier. The new American Airlines would offer more than 6,700 daily flights to 336 destinations and 56 countries. The Department of Justice Antitrust Division is reviewing the merger. Its traditional analysis for horizontal mergers focuses on the overlap of competitive routes between merging airlines, and there are a number of important consumer issues at hand. If this merger is to be approved, it will lead to even more consolidation of the domestic airline industry. New American, Delta, United, Southwest Airlines combined will control over 70% of the domestic airline capacity. And more important to consumers than any national percentage is, will this merger mean higher ticket prices, more fees, and fewer options for flights? With some prior mergers, air passengers in some cities have become increasingly captive to given airlines or experience high fares and reduced services on a given route, whether that is direct or through a one-stop airline hub. The question also rises, will the merger impact airline employees, suppliers, regional partners, customers, and affected communities? The impacts on these stakeholders should not be overlooked. Another consumer issue that I expect to come up today is the issue of slots at DCA. Obviously, for some people, they may not be familiar as intimate as this committee is, but a slot allotted time for takeoff and landing. Reagan National is one of the few airports in the country that is slot controlled. This means there are a fixed number of openings per hour for airlines to arrive and depart. Airlines can buy and sell and lease these rights to operate time slots, and airlines must use their slots at least 80% of the time or face losing it. A few years back, U.S. Airways and Delta traded slots between Reagan and LaGuardia. When it approved the deal in 2011, DOT set a number of slots U.S. Airways could own at Reagan National Airport. So I expect that the consumer interests in these slots, because this new American would control over 2/3 of takeoff and landings at Reagan National, would be something that Department of Justice and DOT must deal with. In the year 2000, tier airlines controlled more than 90% of U.S. domestic capacity. As the result of 9/11, the Great Recession, high volatility in fuel prices, the industry obviously has shrunk. What we must do today is make sure that we are thinking about the flying public and their interests at this hearing in this proposed merger. So I look forward to hearing the testimony of all the witnesses, and want to point out that my colleague, Senator Klobuchar, held a similar hearing before the Subcommittee in Judiciary on Antitrust, Competition, Policy, and Consumer Rights, so I look forward to her questioning or any thoughts that she might have as she conducted a similar review and hearing.